the bomb. What lace? What lace? Because I can't find it. Hey my lovelies, it's your girl thesonnislove, and I am back at it again with another video. Today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I style my wigs. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So the wig that I'm going to be using today is provided by L Wigs. They are a 100% human virgin hair company. This is their Brazilian straight wig, and it is also a 360 frontal. And the great part about it is that the lace is HD, so it actually looks really good and it blends in really well with the skin. So my hair is all wrapped up with a bald cap. I'm gonna get a little bit of concealer and I'm kind of just gonna be blotting it everywhere. So after I do have all this concealer on my bald cap, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be getting an alcohol pad, and I'm just going to be applying the alcohol on the edges of my head. That way the glue can stick a lot longer. I'm basically just going to be doing this very lightly because I don't really want to mess up my makeup, so I'm going to make sure that I just go on the edges of the hair. Okay, so after that, I'm gonna be applying my wig. This wig in particular is perfect. The only thing that I have to complain about is how small it is. It does not fit my head, so I'm gonna have to make it work and see if I can like finesse it and make it fit me and look nice and presentable. Even though it is really small for my head, we're gonna make it work. So they do have a nice clip on the back of the wig, so I'm going to kind of be putting that somewhere like right here, and I'm gonna stick it onto my head. And then I'm going to just bring the wig in place. So it should look something like this. As you guys can see, it's already looking really good. Like, it really blends in amazingly. I'm actually really impressed. So I'm excited. I'm excited. Oh, shit. Before I do this, I'm gonna actually change into a white shirt so you guys can actually see the wig, because it kind of blends in with my shirt, so that was a bad idea, so I'm gonna go change really quick. So now that I have my wig in place and set where I want it, what I'm going to be doing is basically gluing it and styling it. Now I'm gonna get some hair clips, and I'm going to just be clipping this side of my hair. That way I kind of know what I'm working with. I just find this method to be a lot easier. That way I can actually see what I'm doing, and so the hair doesn't get in the way. So I'm gonna kind of place it and see where I want to put it at. I think it's gonna look something like this. And since it is a smaller wig, I'm really gonna have to glue it and lay it down flat so it can look really nice and effortless. This HD wig is awesome. I'm already loving it. Honestly, you probably don't even need glue if you did have a smaller head. So my favorite glue to use is actually the Got2b glue. And I'm also going to be using my blow dryer, and I'm going to be applying the glue on the edges of my hairline so I can finally lay it down. I'm going to just be taking a little bit of that gel. I'm going to be applying it around my hairline. So just like this, just use my fingers and just kind of dap it over. Once that layer is nice and dry, I'm gonna be adding another layer of glue. That way it can stick a lot better. And I kind of want to focus that glue more on the middle, because obviously that's what you're gonna see the most. So you really kind of want to focus that, and maybe even like put it on the band a little bit. That way it can have a nice stick. So once I'm done applying this, I'm going to be blow drying it again, and I'm gonna wait till it's tacky. Not completely dry, but tacky. That way it can have a nice stick and hold. Okay, so after that, it's time to actually apply the wig. So I'm going to be taking the edges, and I'm going to kind of place it where I place the glue. Make sure you make like a scrunchy face as you're applying the wig. So now I'm gonna get a rat tail comb, and I'm gonna just kind of put it in between the hairs and kind of just push it down. So that way it can be nice and sticky. As you guys can see, this HD wig is so freaking cute. Like, it already blends in with my skin so nicely. I'm honestly obsessed with this wig. It looks amazing. Once the wig is applied, I'm going to be using this little silk scarf and I'm going to be tying it on my head. That way the glue can dry and really stay in place. This is honestly the key to making it stick all day, is applying this scarf. It is amazing, trust me guys. Make sure that it's really tight when you tie it. Once it is all tied up, I'm just going to sit here and wait a couple of minutes so that it can fully dry. I definitely did have to finesse it a little bit on this area because, like I said, the wig is a little bit smaller. So I kind of had to blend in my natural hair with the wig and kind of just make it work and see if it works. Now it's time for styling. I'm going to be using my rat tail comb and I'm going to be getting out some baby hairs and really start to style the hair to make it look as natural as possible. So I'm just going to be taking a really thin layer of hair. I don't want a whole lot. It's a very thin layer because we really want it to look really natural. And you kind of want to just, you know, fish out the hair and kind of see like whatever you like and how you prefer it to be. I like it to be a little bit on the thin side, and since this is an HD wig, it is a lot easier to do the edges. What I'm going to be doing is just cutting it a little bit more on the edges because I noticed that I do have some longer pieces. I don't want to really just cut it because I don't want it to be too blunt, so I'm kind of just gonna like brush over it as I'm cutting. Anyone who is applying a wig, I highly suggest when you're doing your baby hairs not to use got-to-be glue on your edges, because if you do, it's just gonna look really harsh and unnatural. For my edges, I love to use a foaming wrap, and it is by the brand BB. I've tried a lot of foaming sprays, but this one seems to be my favorite because when I am applying it to my edges, it doesn't leave a harsh residue or anything like that. It really just blends in seamlessly, and it's a very light formula, so it's not gonna be too oily. It's actually really perfect in my opinion. I'm just going to take a little bit of that and then just apply it to the edges. Do it however you want to do it. It is completely up to you. I'm going to be applying it on this side too, and I'm just going to be repeating the same step. Thankfully, since my hair is the same color as this wig, it will blend in a lot better. So I'm going to be using that foaming spray as well, and I'm just going to apply a little bit on my real hair. That way it can really look natural and really just blend in with the hair. I'm now finished with this side, and as you guys can see, it really does blend in with my real hair. You can kind of see the lace a tiny bit right here, but honestly, it's hardly noticeable. It still looks amazing even though it is a smaller wig. I also like to use my Got To Be Glued freezing spray, and I like to just apply a tiny bit on the edges. That way they can just stay in place all day, and I'm just tapping it. I'm not rubbing it or anything like that. I'm just getting a little bit of the product and just, you know, tapping my edges. That way it can really stay in place all day. So next what I'm going to be doing is using a hot comb. I'm just going to be flattening the areas that I would like. So I'm going to just get that little hot comb and just really comb it out, just like that. That way I can have a nice little bump in the front like this so you guys can actually see the edges. So now I'm just gonna get that hot comb and I'm going to be flattening this part of my hair. Oh my God, y'all, I just slayed the fuck out of this wig. I'm so impressed, bro. I really slayed this wig. I'm sorry, can't nobody say nothing to me because this wig is laid, okay? This wig is fucking laid. I'm going to be flat ironing some more of this part so that way it can be extra straight. So I'm gonna go in with a straightener and I'm going to be straightening my hair. I would say that the only thing that I'm not a fan of with this wig in particular is that it is a little bit thinner than I would like. So honestly, straightening this hair would be a breeze because really there's not much to it. People have different preferences. I do prefer my wigs to be a little bit on the thicker side. So I'm just gonna straighten it. I need a round of applause, y'all. I really slayed the heck out of this wig. So this is the finished look. It is just nice and blended. So shout out to L Wigs because this wig is the bomb. I would say out of this whole wig, my favorite part about the wig is definitely the lace. It just looks very well put together. It blends in with the skin nicely, as you guys can see. And it just looks really natural on my hairline. I'm just really impressed with it. If you guys would like to purchase this wig, I will be leaving all the items in the description box below. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly subscribe, and click that notification bell to be notified every time that I post. Bye, lovelies.